Previously on Redbeard's Garage. For all the ones that says this ain't gonna work, wait till it breaks and say I told you so. Ain't gonna happen. So we kind of started filming late, but we're starting to build the frame for the twin engine go-kart. I know it's kind of hard to tell what it's going to look like, and this is the first frame I've ever built from scratch.
So don't roast him.
Yeah, roast me in the comments. Go ahead. Hey, dumb bends, bro. But this hydraulic freaking pipe bender, whoo, how have I lived life without it? We wanted to learn this pipe bender and not be bothered with filming it. You know, we're not trying to act like we're pros or anything. We have to learn, you know, how exactly to use this thing, where the radius, you know, where to start the bends, where to coagulate the circumference of the moon. So we got it kind of down pat. We're still idiots on it, but we're doing good.
We've done some YouTube research.
Yeah, YouTube's the best place to learn. And the guy I got it from is a genius on this thing, so hopefully, but he talks like a genius, so it's hard to, it's like, whoa, slow your roll, pump your brakes, I can't understand you.
The main winding was of the normal Lotus O deltoid type placed in panendermic semi-boloid slots of the stator. Every seventh conductor being connected by a non-reversible tremie pipe to the differential girdle spring on the up end of the gram meters.
But he's an awesome dude. So we've got this is the floorboard. It is tacked together, the main rectangle thingamajig. Then we have this, our back bar behind our backs will be 8 inches total bigger than the floor, so it'll swell out 4 inches on each side, and I think that'll look cool because it'll give you a lot of shoulder room when, like, me and Becca sitting beside each other. Then it'll go a little bit more narrow in the front, but we basically measured off of the Yerf Dog spider box and added like a foot, I believe, 10 inches to a foot of length in the cockpit area in the floor pan. Then we added another like 6 inches of width in the floor pan, as well as we added like 10 inches of width in the upper part of the cage. This might sound crazy, but you know, just roll with it. Now the front end will stick out past the floor pan a foot. That'll allow us to have like 10-inch wide A-arms, you know, a lot beefier than what the 670 is, because this twin engine go-kart, we're trying to go all crazy with everything. The chains is tension, it's ready to go. We cut and flipped those places you guys seen. All that's fixed now. This is completely fixed, ready to ride. Other than brake levers, we got to put, and we are going to put hydraulic brakes on this thing later. Right now we're working with mechanical. We're going to go hydros later. So I just notched this pipe. This is cut at I want to go 24. So this is 21 inches from the middle, you know, of the notch. So this will set on this pipe, and then the back bar will set on this. So what we can do is mark this pipe out, put quarter marks everywhere, and we're going to weld 3 of these. One on a quarter, one on 50, and one on 75. And we got 2 more to notch. So we're going to go over on the pipe notcher. We're going to get these things notched, and I'm sure we'll be bending more pipe later. More tubing. So tubing is measured the outside diameter. This is 1.5 inch tubing. So if you was to get pipe would be the inside diameter. So always remember that. I didn't know that until like you know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So the more you know. Now let's go over it, notch this pipe, and we can tack. We got 2 of them to notch. We can tack these in place and start lining up everything. Freaking pumped because I love that pipe bender. It's awesome. So we got this marked out at where we need our notcher to notch this puppy. I'm telling you, if you don't have one of these, freaking buy one. And if you say, Greg, I plan on never building nothing out of pipe, buy one, buy it, and send it to me. So for some odd reason I got rid of my corded drill, which would be a lot better in this setup, but I got my Porter cable set on 1, so it's low. You don't want to run these bits when you're cutting metal. You don't want to run them at extreme high RPMs, and you do want to use lube. So my lovely assistant Becca is going to get the good old trusty 3-in-1. We're just going to put a little bit on there and hammer down. Go ahead and pre-lube her. Oh yeah. Okay, that's good. Bam. So now it ain't hard, but the hardest part about this is making sure you get the two, you know, mocked up right. You don't want to cut one off so the pipes ain't going to fit together. Alright, one more to go. And then we'll clean the cuts up and get them welded on. So now I'm going to set these at a 10 degrees angle. So that's 10.
You got mail.
And there we go.
We're about to crack show.
Thank you.
Pull your pants up, pull your pants up, man, pull your pants up.
Need to put another notch on the old belt. I'm gonna see what my guesstimate angle was. About 18 degrees. That'll be fine. That will be okay, baby cakes. That's it, it's done. Let's ride it. Let's ride it. So, this pipe is gapped like a son of a gun. I'll blame that on Becca.
What?
I don't know if I'll weld the gap or, let's face it, I'll probably weld the gap. I don't really want to.
I was gonna say that's what I would do, but you're a pretty perfectionist. So.
Yeah. So that it's looking good. If you think,
Let's gander from far away.
yeah, let me set a tire down, something that'll be the height of the seat. I'm gonna grab a tire. Okay, we're gonna pretend this sandbag is the driver's seat. Oh my god! Oh, look at that. Gas pedal. The seat will be adjustable over here, stationary right here. There's no point in them needing to adjust. No, actually, we'll be getting seats probably from a junkyard with sliders, so the passenger will be able to slide. So if you think about it, you know, I'll be higher than this. My butt will be another 4 inches higher, so it'll actually be, I mean, that's perfect. And there'll be a hoop behind us, and then the roll cage will start right over our head and go down to the dash. Dashboard will be right in this vicinity. So
It doesn't look as giant as I was
thinking,
but
well,
maybe once you put all the
behemoth on the back of it.
all the stuff on it, it'll be bigger, I guess.
I may want to weld 2 pieces of pipe, one right there, and put the front nose on. Go ahead and mount the front nose as high as it's going to be, and then we can figure out this center piece, the center bar, and then we'll figure out our side pieces, and then the chassis is almost completely done. The biggest thing is steering. I don't know what steering gearbox I'm going to go with. It has to be a rack and pinion setup. Maybe the same one I did on the Yerf Dog, because it's an upgraded one. It has more notches cut in it, and see if I can get even more notches cut in it, because I want mad angle on this thing. But yeah, this is perfect size. I mean, think of Lonnie right here. We're on a hot date.
On a bromance.
Thumbnail. So, and you know, ideal you'd want to bend 1 stick of pipe, you know, and not do these welds. I don't like doing butt welding this pipe. I'm the type I like to put something inside of the pipe or over top of it. But we don't have that. We'll make this thing strong enough. If it breaks, I need to retire. It should be perfectly fine to rip on. And, you know, we can put gussets on it all day, every day. So
And
now,
you're pressed for time.
60-40 we're pressed for time.
The Discovery Channel's coming.
They might cancel on us. Cartoon Network may come. I think go ahead and get that front end welded, because that's when we find out the pitch and angle that we need to put this and this together. Oh, that's going to be a doozy.
Sure.
I'm dumb.
I'm smart though, so here we are balancing each other out again.
I wish you were smart. Oh, I thought you turned it off. Can we remake this on the other side? Probably not. So we just bent this at a 70-degree bend. Then I put it on the old pipe notcher and gave it a good old notch. So this will weld on here. And okay, since we didn't slide, normally when I butt two pieces of metal together, I don't just butt weld them. I like to slide either something inside of the metal and then plug weld it as well as weld the crack, or sleeve it over top of it. Since we didn't do this on this cart, and I want to make sure it's strong, even butt welded, this thing probably wouldn't break. But everywhere there is 4 seams on the floor. So everywhere there is a seam, we're going to have a piece of pipe welded over top of it. If you look down there, sorry for my playstand seat. And the way, if you look, that's dead center. Dead center of this crack right there. You can see it. So it's dead center of that crack right there, and that'll strengthen that even more. So before we tack this in place, I'm going to weld that crack all the way around on the floor pan pipe, and then grind it smooth because I want this to sit over top of it, and we can fully weld everything else later up on the motorcycle lift. So we got to hopefully redo this and for the other side. So we got this on the first shot. We bent this at a 75. It's roughly 75 or 70 degrees. And then I just guesstimated, that's the mark I made, and I went a good ½ inch below that mark to notch it. No, actually I was dead on the mark. But I don't know. We got 2 marks. Yeah, it was.
This is a guessing
Anyways,
game.
So this fits perfect. It can be tacked on later, not right now, because I have to fully weld that crack. I don't want to leave it open. Yeah, this is going to be pretty sweet. I'm excited. So now, man, my lovely wife, Becca's been a huge help. If Lonnie was here, he wouldn't. Thank you, Lonnie. Lonnie's on his way, actually, but he's going to film me and Becca work because we've been learning this pipe bender together. And I'll tell you, how handy is that going to be to have a wife be like, hey, baby, will you bend me a 60-degree bend on a 794 chromoly pipe? I want to go back and look at it. Oh, yeah, Coupe de Ville Club Classic.
Listen, y'all, I have tripped so many times in this garage today.
Yeah, because she's a dutz. There goes all my math. Actually, it was just sitting up there. But I'm trying to get the overall look of the cart. It's going to look sweet. I know the nose looks dumb and weird. But wait, this thing is going to look freaking sick. You can call up old Redbeard and say, hey, I need a custom cart, 17 motors on it. I got you, big boy. We'll build that thing. Make you a semi full of engines pulling the thing. All right, I'm tooting my own horn. Let's get this thing done.
Actually, he won't be able to do anything because he doesn't have time.
I do not. Or the skill. So that's 2 things I'm less of right now that we would need. The dude who I got the pipe bender from gave me this freaking ruler. Good gosh, this radius awesomeness. It tells you how much pipe you're going to spend in the bend. So that one, we could have did it without this. You cannot use this pipe bender, in my opinion, without this. Would you agree? It'd be extremely hard because we're able to lay this on the pipe. And of course, if this is 70, we want to go a little bit past it because the spring back of the pipe is probably a good 1/4 inch.
Nope.
You go play with your cousin that's here. Oh, is that boring, man? First off, I want to shout out my wife for. It's fun, isn't it? She's been helping me a ton out here.
Yeah, it's more fun doing stuff than watching you do stuff.
Yeah, and just recording. So with this pipe bender, you want to come over here and get this shot. First, we got to put this clamp on that's going to grab our pipe. There we go. And we want this to be dead even. So this is where the bend's going to start at this white line. We're going to have 3.5 inches of straight pipe after the bend. Need to do another 70. Fire in the hole. That, my friends, is freaking nice. I gotta get over here so I can see my. One thing I found out is no matter where you put the foot pedal, it's not in the right place.
The other one was right before this line.
How much before?
Like,
over there?
Right before.
Talking about like right there. So we're gonna check this now. Becca's barking orders. That looks pretty darn good. So I did a little bit more because there is a little bit of spring back in the pipe. So let's check this. One thing I do know is I need to put a hook right here to hang my tools because I'm tired of freaking things being everywhere. It drives me crazy. So slide that out. You can lift this up like pull this pin, but
it's a waste of time.
yeah, with small pipe, and just pull it right out. So let's check it against our other piece of pipe that we already notched for the other side. See how our two bends look. There's a lot of walking around and moving. Oh my gosh, that could have been death. Becca's got flip-flops on in a work zone. You know what we're gonna buy you next week? Steel-toed flip-flops. So that's close enough for government work, if you ever heard that one. So much faster than the angle grinder.
I didn't even notice it.
Great. That's totaled.
Where's that been? Like you step on it, just bends it.
It's like a tin can. It's made out of like what a bean can's made out of. I'm like, we got enough of it though. It should hold. Heck, you ever drop a can of peas in the grocery store? It don't bust.
Bust that floor out.
I think I should just barely notch this, don't you believe, Geneva?
Mm-hmm.
Like barely.
Yeah, because it's going to be too short.
It was a learning experience. I hope one day to be good at this, but I highly doubt it. Look at that, look at that.
What would you do without my smartness?
I didn't know you had any.
Alright, we're going for a 15.
Okay, let's baby notch this so we can test it, but I bet it needs to be a hair bit more. And that's it. What do you think so far, Lonnie? Freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty quick.
Let's test it. Yeah, that's right.
Perfect.
Perfect. So basically what we're doing now is making the side pieces that will tie these bends in right here to this front. Now we are going to cut 4 inches off of this front pipe. We was going to do 12-inch A-arms, which is stupid. 12-inch wide A-arms, that's a behemoth. So we cut this to do 12-inch A-arms. We're going to do like 8-inch A-arms or something. The Yerf Dog has, I think, 5-inch wide A-arms, like the actual hoops in the A-arm section. So we're going to do about 8-inch ones. You know, make it beefy, make them out some really good thick walled 1-inch or 1 1/4 pipe. There may be probably like 1 1/8 inch pipe, but we're going to cut 4 inches off of this, and then we can basically, this will go in like
that's
so.
gonna be perfect.
So we're going to have to notch this, and we're going to make sure that our bend, you know, is flat. You know what I'm saying? When we got it in the pipe notcher, we'll notch this straight down. Then we can figure out, we're going to have to do a little bit of an angle cut on this as well as on this. So whatever our angle is, which is 15 degrees, we would split it on both pipes to meet correctly. So 7.5, yeah, of an angle cut on this, 7.5 of an angle cut on this to make it. Because if I was just to cut this at 15 degrees and bump it up, when you cut this one at that much, the pipe's actually longer then. This is 1.5 inches, but when you cut it a slant, you're going to have like 2 inches of open pipe. So when you meet it up with that, you're going to have a big gap on one of the lips. You know, so you got to split the degree in half on each piece pipe. That sound simple?
I don't want to do this anymore.
I'm tired.
pretty sure I missed all of that. I was trying to not go blind. I have no safety glasses.
You don't need them. So when we was first looking at this bin, we was talking about making it do that. That's dumb. We're gonna go like this. That looks a ton better.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, perfect. So now we got to cut this pipe off on this mark that Lon Treasy made. Once this is cut, this can be tacked in place. The front end can be tacked on, and then we can.
Oh, she already cut that.
Yeah, we already cut the hoop. Now we need to bend one more. This is 2. It's 15 degrees. It's 15 degrees. So basically, this is gonna get a little complicated. How you find out what kind of angle we needed for this? So if our back hoop width from outside to outside was 58 inches, our front hoop from outside to outside was 37.5. So what we did was we minus that. We ended up with like 21. Maybe, does that sound right? We're gonna go 21. So we split that difference, we divided that by 2, which gave us 10.5. So what I did on my workbench was I measured 10.5 from this side. Then I measured how wide the gap needed to be from the 2 pieces of pipe, which was, because I can't remember it, like 48 inches. So then I measured from the bottom of my workbench out 48 inches. Then I took my old protractor, and 0 was actually 90 degrees on this puppy. Oopsie daisy. So we set that at 0, which is 90 degrees. We set this is pretty tight of a fit, under the workbench like this. Then we found out what our angle is, which end up giving us, so you just find out, oh gosh, didn't have it, make sure it's flush on your workbench. So that was
Should have been
15 degrees of a bend. So that basically told us we need to do a 15 degree of a bend on that piece of pipe to get it to match up with the front. Does any of that make sense? Probably not, because it didn't to me the first time I heard it, but now it does. So that's how we came up with these need to be a 15 degree bend. And since we wanted to kick it back out, wanted to give it this shape, we just put 2 15s in it, and we measured you know, where we needed. So there'll be a ton of videos on how to bend pipe, because you'll learn as I learn, and I learn super slow. So in 3 years we'll be able to bend a true 90.
We'll see. Might.
Nah, we'll retire by then. We'll live in Cape Cod. Cape Cod. Shout out to the guy on Craigslist who watched the channel and hooked us up with this bad boy. It's Harbor Freight, but shoot, better than an angle grinder.
Whenever you're cutting metal at your house,
Close your eyes, don't wear safety glasses.
always remember you need a gas can behind it to catch the sparks.
Yeah. This is a seamed pipe. So inside you can feel the seam where they welded the piece of pipe together. So you always want to put that on the inside of your bend. There we go. 13.5. That mark's going to be the start of our bend. So we get this clamp. This holds the pipe to the piece, to the bender die. This bar right here, you can mark where your degrees are at, and we have it already marked for this, so we know exactly how much to go. Oh, another day we was bending a piece of pipe, and it's hard, you know, at first you're trying to get your brain wrapped around all this math and geometry. So I went to go hit the release pedal, boom, and one touch bends it like 1 degrees. So we about messed it up, but we was able to make it work. Yeah, I think it's starting to look awesome. Redbeard's Garage is powered by GoPowersports.com. GoPowersports has a huge amount of awesome go-kart and mini bike parts, and when making your purchase, use the Redbeard discount code in the upper right-hand corner of your shopping cart to grab yourself a sweet deal. Hit that subscribe button and make sure the notification bell is on so you'll never miss another episode, and go check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest to stay up to date with the channel. Guys, always come back to Redbeard's Garage. I'm out.